say yes. It's live on YouTube. Just give us a little bit of time to get the Facebook Live going in, and we will be ready. So let's push all that. Hello and welcome back to episode 3, The Naked Couple.
Is it episode 3 already?
It's episode 3 already, yeah. 3 weeks we've been doing this. We're professionals. We kind of know what we're doing now.
Yes.
We didn't even have any technical issues today.
No.
Nothing. We planned a little bit.
Practice makes perfect.
Yeah. So this is going to be the best show ever.
Woohoo!
And what we're going to talk about, we're going to talk about work-life balance, aren't we? How we achieve the work-life balance, because we went from a busy office with 80 members of staff to retracting back to our bedroom and working from home.
I think we need to mention that we just moved to a place that we didn't know, where we didn't know a single.
We relocated. That was part of it. So we was kind of ahead of the game with the working from home scenario, wasn't we? We was doing it before COVID.
Yeah.
You know, we was doing it before people were forced to do it. So we had a little bit of an advantage there. But even so, going from an office, a busy office, to being at home was challenging, wasn't it?
Oh gosh,
and it wasn't easy.
No.
And we're going to talk about in this episode how we overcome those challenges, how we planned ahead, how we had open and honest conversations, how we do a little exercise that you preach a lot, Eat That Frog.
Yeah.
That's a book by, is it Brian Tracy?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're very keen on that, and it does work. So we're going to talk about eating the frog as well. And we're going to talk about a few things we did to help us basically come away from all the crap that we encountered to actually achieving a really, really good work-life balance. And it has been good, hasn't it? It's not perfect. As we always say, it's never going to be perfect. We're always looking to improve. But it's not bad, is it?
I would say it's perfectly imperfect.
Perfectly imperfect. We like that saying, don't we? You know, but initially when we first did it, you know, I had ideas in my mind of how it was going to be.
It was beautiful, huh? All the fun we're going to have, all the giggles we're going to have, the time off. And
yeah, we kind of thought, okay, this is going to be great. We love spending time with each other. We love working with each other. We won't have to travel too much anymore, because when we was in London, just a mile down the road was 45 minutes, wasn't it? You know, so we didn't have to do that anymore. We didn't have a routine anymore. We didn't have to be there for 9 o'clock and stay till late. We could kind of make it up as we went along, do what we want when we wanted, and everything was going to be great. It wasn't quite like that, was it?
No, we had a few breakups. We had a few quiet weeks.
Yeah.
We had a few times when you slept in this room, I slept in that room.
Yeah, that was nice. That was peaceful.
You didn't think that you need some space.
No. The arguments wasn't nice, was they? And it was frustrating. It was, I don't know. I mean, we wanted to work, and well, I wanted to work and I wanted to do all these things, and we would get in each other's way. And I know I get a little bit claustrophobic, and we wasn't in this house at that time, was we? We was in another house, and we used the box room as the office, which was quite narrow, wasn't it? And sort of jumping over each other to get to PC and wading through the mess that I would invariably leave didn't bode well for a nice working environment, did it?
No, I think we just have a different way of working. I needed interaction. I needed a company, somebody to talk to. You wanted a piece of quiet, because when you can't multitask like I can you? You just have to concentrate on one thing. And I would ask you a question every now and then. Oh, can you help me with that? When the PC was not working, and you would just snap.
Actually, I disagree with that, because I wanted the interaction with lots of people. I missed that, but I also miss when we had my office. We had the main office, which was the big office, and I had my other office that I would go to when I needed my peace and quiet. So I had my little escape route.
Yeah, this is why you did the converted the gym, the garage into the gym. To escape again.
Yeah,
to have that
I like to have that peace and quiet. But in that particular house, we didn't have that, did we? It was a small house, and there was no There was no hiding. There was no
No.
getting away. And I missed that. And I miss the interaction with people. We're both people.
Yeah.
People. I guess that's
Yeah.
people, persons. I don't know what the saying is, but we bounce off of each other and we bounce off of other people, don't we? And when we've got lots of people around us, we thrive in that environment. And we went from having that to having no one.
Yep.
Just you and I,
Mm.
and nowhere to hide.
No.
And I think that was the biggest problem for us, and that could be potentially the biggest problem for a lot of people at the moment that have been forced out of the workplace and into their home, especially if they don't have a separate office, especially if they don't have that little bit of an area to get away. How do you cope?
Well, it wasn't easy. I think from my perspective, it was being cut off from the rest of the world, because we moved in here and the office was really busy and it was really lively. Like you say, we bounce off each other's energy, but we also bounce off other people's energy, and there was always lots going on. I was the manager, so I was always dealing with all the drama and all the issues that we had, and they were happening on the daily basis. And then you come in here and you just work on the PC, getting into the finance and the numbers and doing things that are not exciting and stuff. And I think I felt really lonely to start off with. And there was the time when I sat down and I thought, bloody hell, what have we done? And why have we done it? And is it always going to be like that? Because life has become so boring. It was just us. You work on this thing, I work on this thing. I used to have a go at you for going to London too often.
And I wasn't really going that much, was
Gosh, it was like 4 days out of 7. Yes. Oh, I need to go to London. Oh, I'm in London tomorrow. By the way, I'm going to London. I'm like, I don't know anybody.
She exaggerates.
What I
terribly.
do? It's so bloody boring. I'm on my own.
No, because that's the thing, isn't it? When you break your work down, it was boring.
Yeah.
But when you add a lot of people into the mix, it's fun.
Yes.
Because you've got those
They
people
make
to
it
interact
fun,
with.
yeah.
So when you come out of that work in environment and all of those people are not there, and you've just got that boring work and me,
Yeah.
I
On
can
the
see
days
why
that
you
you were
struggled.
actually in the house, yeah.
I could see why you struggled, and I was lucky that I didn't go 4 days out of the week. Maybe
did.
the odd
Yes,
week
you
here
did.
and there I was in London a bit more than normal, but
You
normally
know,
it was,
boxes in there.
normally it was 1 or 2 days maximum.
No,
And-
Wednesday, Thursday, then
come
Friday
on.
and Sunday every other week. That's what it was. Wednesday you were going to London, staying for the night, coming back on Thursday afternoon, early afternoon, going back on Friday, coming back, and then going back on Sunday.
We'll move on because
I'll
I'm not
make
going to
it for
regret
1, 2, 3, 4, Wednesday, Thursday, Saturday, Friday, and Sunday.
Yeah, but Sunday's another week. Sunday's the start of the week.
Oh, so it falls into the other one. So it will be Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday.
I thought I'd trick you with that one.
No.
You're not as stupid as you look,
No,
are you?
I don't. I look stupid and I'm not stupid.
But in seriousness, I can see why you struggled. I can see why I struggled. You know, we both found it hard, didn't we? Because when I'm in an office and I know I'm there to work, I will work. Yeah. Okay, I might sneak off and have a little bit of a rest here and there as I used to do, but I used to get my work done. When you're at home, there's so many distractions, and you know.
I disagree with
yeah,
that.
but you're a different person to me. You know, you can be very, very focused. I get very, very distracted, and this is why we work well together. And you come across a little bit bossy sometimes, and people, you know, listen to you talk and maybe say, "Oh, you boss him around," but actually, I need that. I do, don't I? I do need it, especially in this environment where we're indoors, because I could go and watch a bit of TV, I could go and walk, I could go on my phone, the postman knocks,
check
I
the
can have a
Bitcoin.
conversation with him, I can check the Bitcoin, I can be doing all sorts of things other than working, but you're very structured and you're very organised, and you are, we may be at home, but we're here to work, and you'll keep me on the straight and narrow. So that for me is good, and that works for me. It might not work for other people, It's not actually how we solved our problems, but it was a contributing factor that you took the role in the planning.
Yeah.
You know, I used to say to you, you know, these are my strengths and these are your strengths. Let me do what I'm good at. You do.
Are you sure you came up with that conversation? No, it wasn't you who said it.
I think it was.
It's amazing how you always take credit for good stuff. Wow!
Come on.
These are my strengths. Let's word by word, my saying, love.
Well, taking credit for things is my strength.
That's so funny. You keep going. I'm sorry, I took the shine away from what you were saying.
You did, because I specifically remember sitting down and having a conversation with you and saying to you, these are our strengths. We should use these strengths to our advantage.
Lee Taylor for president, yay!
Absolutely. You know, you're organised. I'm creative. Let me do the creative stuff, and you do.
I'm sure it wasn't me who said it.
No, 100%. 100%.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Let me have that one.
Yeah.
But I'm pretty sure it was me who said that. Maybe it was you who said that. I can't remember. But certainly planning ahead and working to our strengths made a big difference. So as it was your idea, how did we do that?
Well, you know what? I think going back to the actual move and we very much working on the vision. And I think when we moved in here, we were talking about life and getting together, living together. I had such an amazing vision in my mind and everything was so beautiful. And then we did it and it was like, shit, this is not what I thought it was. And I got to know you from a completely different angle. And I got to learn how different you are and how you do things that don't sit with me properly. Like one of the things that used to make us clash a lot is when I work on the project, I have to see the project from the beginning until the end. I won't stop until I do it. With Lee, he starts 5 different projects. Halfway through, he gets a bit bored because there's something else coming up, a little shiny object, and he puts everything aside, and that one little thing is the golden nugget for 2 weeks. I mean, say to you, I will do the spreadsheet of all the things that you do and take off the ones that you actually get to the finishing line. And you got really annoyed with me. What are you talking about? We had that conversation when we were walking.
We did, but then there was a realisation there, wasn't it?
But that was later on.
That was later on, yeah. I had some coaching of myself, didn't I? And during that coaching, it come out that I am creative, I am very good at starting things, but I'm absolutely shit at following through and completing them. But that's okay. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, all I really need to do is get it started and then find good people around me to pass it on and get them to finish it, rather than just leave it and jump onto the next thing. And when I worked that out, that was massive for me, because it felt good that I could do that. Before, I kind of felt really bad about it.
Yeah, and I could not digest the fact that you start something and you just move on to the other thing without trying to make the most of it. I mean, it's like this property course. We spent so much money on the property course. I think it was about £6,000, wasn't it?
I can't remember. It was a lot of money.
Yeah, and we gave up on it like halfway through.
In fairness on that though, COVID hit, didn't it? And it was really like, is this really what we want to do?
Yeah, but we had fun. We were doing it together.
We was doing it together, but then we was locked down, and it was, is it going to be the right time to do it? There was all these things going through our head, and we had businesses that we was fighting to survive in as well. So things had to take priority.
Then you had the operation as well.
Then I had the operation, and then the car accident. So it wasn't a complete, we just give up on this. There was other circumstances there, but I get what you're saying, that I would like any business I've got, I love starting the businesses, but then I need other people to run with them and take over from me and take it to that next level, because I don't have any interest in doing that. And I used to beat myself up about that a little bit, and kind of you beat me up about it as well.
Lot.
Because it used to frustrate you, and it wasn't until we had that realization that actually, you know, there's lots of people like me, very successful, way more successful than me, that do that, and then just find people to take their ideas and run with it.
But then actually, when you had that discovery, you probably remember now, that's when I said to you, why don't we use our strengths in the situation? So you have the idea, I say it's a good idea, we make a start, and then I continue to...
I think originally I had the idea, and then I give up on the idea, and you took over the idea and followed it through. I think it was a joint idea.
Yeah, that's what
I think
it
that's
was,
what it was.
yeah.
It was a joint idea. I definitely started it, and you finished it, because that's what we're good at, isn't it? You're good at the follow through. You're good at getting shit done to completion, and I'm good at starting things.
Yeah, you've got really good ideas.
That working that out, how we work together, was fantastic. Because it gave us a platform to actually springboard off and achieve more than we've ever achieved, because we complemented each other so well.
Yep.
And then once we, well, I guess I wouldn't say then once we worked that out, because that did come after, but we'd started to plan a lot before that, hadn't we?
Yeah. We worked a lot on the vision and what we want from life and how we can do things together, rather than you do this, I do that, and we sort of don't do anything together. And we got that clarity, and then we moved into planning how to get to where we want to be. And that was amazing. We did the 90-day plans, and we did, one of my favorite exercises is working out how to achieve a goal that you set yourself up, and you come up with 30 ideas.
We talked about it a bit last
That was
week.
50 ideas for the sparkle,
yeah.
That was different. This one is, it's a different mentor who has got a different way, but it also works. And then
works,
one of the nuggets is that you need to complete one of the ideas that you've got instantly, so you release endorphin in your brain, and you've got that feeling, yes, I can do it, I am moving closer and closer and closer, and we've done that, and we've been doing 90 days plans, and the results were like, wow.
Again, they work really well for you. I like them. I like the initial planning, but because I don't have that follow through, I don't always complete my 90-day plans. But then you complete them, don't you?
No, we had meetings. We agreed to have a little meeting once a week when we were both working on the project together, and we would follow the actions that we set up and set up new actions, and that's when you would come up with the...
But I needed you to tick them off and tell me I'm on track and keep me going and get me to finish it. The 90-day plan on its own is great. You know, don't get me wrong, it's fantastic. But it's like anything in life, you can plan all this stuff out, but if you don't do it, it's worthless.
Yep.
And if I'm left on my own devices, I will plan it out and I won't do it, or I will start it.
Yeah.
And go on to something else, make a new plan.
Yeah.
But we set those regular meetings to critique our plan, to see where we was, or certainly for you to critique them, and then we could gauge where we was and what else I needed to do and what you needed to do, and we could make sure. And it was funny, really, wasn't it? Because we didn't always set ourselves a timeline of completing certain projects, but when we got to the end of the 90 days, bloody hell, we were shocked sometimes, wasn't we? But what I'm going to say, we didn't tick everything off as we went along always, did we? And we would get to the end of the 90 days, right, what did we achieve? Boom, 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 boom. Bloody hell.
I know.
We've done so much.
Remember the shit list I used to do for you? And then we did a bit of coaching and we changed it into an awesome list. Shit list.
It's just that
have that mindset, it's things that I really don't do. And
we used to have what we called the shit list, and we used to make a list of all the stuff.
I made a list for you.
Okay.
Of things that you don't like doing.
Well, technically we made the list. You might have wrote it down, but I was involved. You didn't just hand me a list and say, "There's your shit
executing
list."
Executing the
shit. We did make a list, and it was a list of all the crap we didn't want to do, wasn't it? And what happens when you call it a shit list or the crap list, or you take a view of it of this is the list of the stuff I don't want to do? You look at it and you just don't want to do it, do you? So again, through coaching and mentoring and talking to people and understanding different ways of working, we just spun that list into the awesome list, and we called it the awesome list. And it was, this is a list of awesome stuff we must do. And we did it.
Yeah, and I think the awesome word came to light as well, because every time when we did the shit from the shit list, we felt awesome after we completed it.
Yeah,
It's like,
yeah.
okay, I didn't want to do it. It was really holding me back, but I've done it, and
But
it actually wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad, and actually, because we stopped calling it the shit list, and it's right. What were you going to do on the awesome list? It was kind of like, yeah, I'm going to get it done because I know I'm going to feel awesome when I do it. And then we would reward ourselves a little bit, wouldn't we? We'd treat ourselves to a little bit or something or whatever. Not much, but just a little treat here and there when we did it.
Yeah.
And that was good because invariably a lot of the stuff you don't want to do is the stuff you need to do, and you kind of sometimes put it off because it can be challenging or boring or like counts and stuff like that.
It needs to be done.
But even now I would say we've even progressed a little bit more from there because we outsource a lot now, don't we? Whereas back then we were still doing a lot of stuff we didn't want to do. Now we kind of outsource to other people stuff we don't want to do.
You used to spend the whole day just to mow the grass. What is it called? Yeah, with the lawnmower.
Cut the grass, do little odd jobs, do work on the accounts, do some of the social media stuff that kind of I wanted to do but wasn't very good at, and I would fiddle with it and just try to get it perfect. And
my god, we used to spend, what was it, £3,000 a month for the marketing company, and they designed I was so annoyed with you. Oh my god, I thought, honestly, I don't hit people, but that time I thought I will slap your head just like that. Because we used to spend a lot of money for the marketing company, and they designed our website, and you were not happy with the color on one of the pages, and he spent, I kid you not, about 2.5 hours trying to work out how to change the color, the background on the thingy. I'm like, Leif, F's sake. Yeah, we pay people to do it. It takes them 5 minutes. No. I need to do it. I need to learn to do it. I need to know how to do it. And you got so stroppy. I think we ended up not talking to each other for about 3 days.
I know. I remember actually. I was sitting in this office trying to work it out, and you come in. It was late at night, and you was like, "You gonna stop that?" And I made the stupid mistake of telling you what I was doing.
I'm not stupid. I could see what you were doing. Come on. It's not that you made a stupid mistake. I knew exactly what you were doing.
But it was still a mistake to tell you what I was doing, and you hit the roof, didn't you?
Are you promoting being dishonest or?
Yeah, I am. Because if I'd have said to you, listen, I'm working on chasing some leads or something that's going to bring some money in, you'd have still had the because it was late and I shouldn't have been working. But the impact of that attack wouldn't have been quite as bad. But because I told you I was fiddling with the colours on the website and it was like late in the evening, it was our time, you hit the roof.
Oh, I did. Oh, I was not happy.
And then I wasn't happy because I made you unhappy, and then I wasn't happy because I had to stop and I hadn't worked out. And you know what I'm like when I can get a bit obsessive. Although I have this problem following through to completion, if something is in that mind that I've got, or not now because I'm better, but at that particular time, I would obsess over it, wouldn't I? And this is the most important thing, and I have to do it, and nothing else matters.
Yep.
And I obsessed. I remember that colour. I remember that day.
It was purple, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was just a tiny fraction off, and I could see it, and I was so unhappy with it. I just wanted to fix it myself, and I thought, you know what? If I can learn how to do this, maybe I don't need to pay them anymore. And I can do this. But that was the way I was thinking, and I obsessed over it. Yeah. But I'm better now.
Yeah.
And it's taken a long time. It's been a journey, hasn't it? It's been a lot of discovery with outside help and us two coaching each other and planning and plotting and talking and having open, honest conversations and fighting sometimes. And it's just been a journey that we had to go through, I think. And because we've had that experience now and we've done it and we've come through the other end, it helps us a lot in our coaching business because we get clients that are in the same position as us who are struggling and can't work out what's going wrong and can't make that transition. We can help them very, very quickly.
Yep.
Because you can see.
Mm.
You can see the mistakes that they've made or making, because we made them all ourselves. I think I think I've probably made more mistakes than most people in my life, probably because I've done a lot more than most people, and because I just chucked myself in the deep end.
You did.
No.
I think that the biggest challenge, that the biggest learning that you did was the listening. And you used to get so obsessed with things. I remember it was in this office as well. You asked me to put things together, and I spent the whole day doing the research and getting things done. And I've done it so well. I was so proud of you. And I remember telling you all about it and showing you on the screen. And all of a sudden, you've got your phone, and somebody texted you on something that you were doing, and you cut into me explaining to you, said, "Oh, this one texted me," and stuff. And I got so upset. I literally like ran out of the house. I called you a few names, and I went out. I smashed my phone because you phoned me.
Did you?
Yeah, I did. I had to buy a new phone.
Can't remember that.
And I was so angry, and we had a lot of work done on the listening.
I remember the event. I don't remember you smashing your phone, but
Yeah,
I'm sure you did.
because you would. That's probably the biggest downside of working from home. When you work in the office, I always said to our employees, when you come to work, you leave your problems, home problems, in your pocket. You come to work, you get your job done, you go back. And with us, it was the other way around. Yeah, you go to the office, you do your work, you go home, you leave the work behind you. When you work from home, the work is constantly there. So you sit at the table, and you've got the email coming into your phone, and you've got that urge to check it, and then you've got all these things going through your mind and stuff. And we used to have a lot of clashes about the mobile phones and the working hours.
Yeah, because the notifications popping up, and I just could not resist it. I just could not. I would see a text pop up, or an email, or a reminder, and it would. I'd sit there getting itchy, wouldn't I? And I'd kind of be listening.
Completely dismissing what we were talking about, and didn't have a clue about anything what was going on. And there was the time, I think I was pregnant with Lucy, wasn't I? I actually thought that he got cold feet and he wanted to run away because the baby was on the way, and we just had so much going on. You had lots of problems at work. You didn't want to talk to me about it.
Yeah,
because you thought
I didn't want to stress you.
Yeah. Yeah, when with me, I thought he's got somebody else. He just wants to F off because there's just too much madness going on.
You're very body conscious as well, aren't you, when you're pregnant? And I think he wasn't feeling particularly attractive at that particular time. He was low on energy. I was away with the fairies, trying to sort all the crap out and not wanting to talk to you about that because I didn't want to stress you while she was pregnant. And actually, by doing that, it made things 10 times worse, because if I'd have been open and honest and said, look, this is the problem, I know how to sort it, or we'll work on sorting it, you would have been fine with that, wouldn't you? But, me being me, I tried to hide that, protect you, and it led you to sort of have your thinky brain go into overdrive. And obviously come up with the conclusion I must be shagging somebody else.
Calling it a horizontal training, huh?
yeah, but that obviously wasn't the case. And we learn, again, lessons. Sometimes you forget, you learn these lessons, shit takes over, you get tired, life kicks in, and you forget those lessons a little bit. But it's good that we've got a lot of triggers that remind us now, haven't we? And we've got a lot of things that happen that give us a kick, and hang on a minute, we're going back down that rabbit hole again. Let's get out of it. And we know how to get out of it now, don't we? Like the mobile phone. Quickly. And I know I've done it a few times. We come up with a plan, didn't we? No mobile phones after
5 o'clock.
5 o'clock. They just go. And I know that's been pushed on a little bit. It has been pushed on a little bit because I'm getting a lot of leads coming with my gym at the moment, and I'm kind of itching to have a look at them to jump on them.
And that's fine. I don't mind that, because I know when we sort of talk about it and we make that agreement. But what I don't like is when you stand by the microwave for 5 minutes on your phone, pretending that you're waiting for the sterilizer to be switched off. Yeah.
No, I never do
Yeah.
that. Never, ever. I don't know where you got that one from. It's 6 minutes to sterilise. You can tell how often you sterilise it's 6 minutes, not 5 minutes. Yeah.
By the time you take your phone out.
Why do you think I volunteered to sterilise everything? I've got 6 minutes on my
I
phone.
was like, bloody hell, he's kid.
But we do know, and
Yeah.
I know, and I'm more conscious now, and I'm thinking like, okay, I've got my phone. I shouldn't have my phone. Right, if you're not in, I'll do a little bit. But if you do walk in, okay, I will end that, and I'll put that down, and I will listen. Whereas before, I would have, yeah, and just not heard a word you said, and then you would have got really frustrated a few days later when you reminded me of what you said, and I didn't have a clue of what you said.
I know.
It stopped when we realised that actually communication is the most important thing.
Yeah, listening to each other.
Listening to each
There
other.
was that time when I was doing an essay for my coaching diploma, and I'm
I
reading
was
it
tired.
out. I'm reading it out to
Don't
you,
be
and all
wrong
of
with
a
that.
sudden he's like,
I fell asleep.
bloody hell, one time.
I know, but come on.
I'm asking you to listen and give me your honest opinion.
It was about 10
And
o'clock in
you're
the
falling
evening. I'd had a
asleep.
long day. I was so tired. And you're like, can you listen to my essay that I've written on?
Then what should you say? If you were in the same situation now, what would you do differently?
I would have stood up and listened to you. I would have said to you, yes, I can, because I would always support you and I'd always help you out. But I've actually stood up and I'd have walked around the room because I knew I was really tired. And when you're listening to someone talk about something you don't really have a lot of knowledge of, because I wasn't part of that course, yeah, I just got sleepy and I fell asleep. But if I'd have known then what I know now, yeah, that's right, I would have got up and I would have walked around the room, because then I would have just kept myself energized.
Nice.
So I wouldn't have let you down or I said do it tomorrow. I would have just took a different approach. But yeah, don't put that in my face. That was bad timing on your behalf, and
No,
you
it
can't
was.
always.
I didn't tell you to do it. I asked
Yeah,
you.
you did ask, yeah, and I could have said no, but I wanted to help you, and I knew it was important to you, and I made things worse again because I fell asleep when you was talking
You
about
were
it.
snoring your head off.
Yeah, well, maybe if you'd have read with a little bit more, vigor and put a bit more pronunciation into your words and made it a bit more
I'm a
interesting.
foreigner. I've got a bit of an accent.
Should be easier for you then,
No, it's
shouldn't
not.
it?
How many languages do you speak, love?
Well, I'm trying to speak Polish. I have lessons every day, and I know quite a few words. I just can't string them into sentences, and I can't understand a word you lot say when you do talk, because you talk so bloody fast. It's not the easiest language in the world, but
No.
I'm getting there.
Good.
So the work-life balance was hard when we first started. There wasn't a work-life balance, was there?
No.
We was just thrown in. We was dealing with work, we was dealing with personal calls, business calls, children, people knocking on the door, deliveries, everything going on, and we didn't have a clue how to structure everything and make it work like it would have worked in a office environment when you're there and you're kind of protected from all of that. But we did it, we got it, and I think we get it really, really well now because we plan everything. Our diaries are really well structured, aren't they? And we don't just put in our diary stuff that is work related. We do put stuff in that's fun as well, don't we? And exercise in our diaries. We've got our running, we've got our training. We know when we're going to pick the kids up. We know when it's family time. We know when we're going to go out and have a little bit of lunch maybe during the day, because that's a nice time for us to be on our own with our kids. And we have that fun element in there as well. And we wouldn't have that if we didn't plan it, because we would just get so into work. Well, I know I would anyway. So I think structuring the day has been very, very important to us.
Yeah, I think to me a massive thing was that I learned to ask for help when I need it, because I'm this I do it person. I just run myself to the ground and then I crash. And I never used to ask for help, but now when I need you in the house, when we need to do things together that are not so work related. We've got 2 babies. We've got a 21 months old and 7 weeks.
6 weeks old,
7
7 weeks. Wow.
7 weeks old. So things are pretty mad.
Yeah.
When
But you would never ask for help.
No.
You saw that as a massive sign of weakness, didn't
Yeah.
you? If you'd have said to me, I'm struggling, I need
Mhm.
help, you would have seen that as you being a complete failure,
mm,
being weak,
yep.
and it just would never have happened.
Mhm.
And I used to moan at you, you know, because you used to. This is the thing.
You're
I'm gonna
pointing
get
your
mine.
fingers
Yeah, I'm
at
gonna
me.
get my own back on you. You used to presume I could read your
Yeah.
mind, and
It
you
was obvious. Come
no,
on.
it was not obvious.
Yes, it
I used to
was.
say to you, when you used to explode at me and say, you should know this. I used to say, I'm not a mind reader. I can't read your mind. You should. You've been with. And I said, well, how's that working out for you? Badly. Well, yes, it is working out badly for you because I can't read your mind. I don't know what you want. You might know what you want me to do, but unless you tell me or ask me for help, I'm going to presume everything's okay and carry on and do my stuff. And that was a really big point in our relationship, which stopped a lot of the fighting because you just then started to ask for help.
Well, it wasn't just that. I had a lot of help from the outside. I had a wonderful mentor who did a lot of work on trying to do everything by myself, and I didn't have to do it, and it is okay to ask for help. I think the discovery was like, she was brilliant. She said to me, how do I feel when people ask me for help? And I was like, I love it. I put my stuff aside and I just jump in because I always want to help everybody else. It makes me feel so good. And the next question was, so how do you think other people feel when you ask them for help?
That's right.
I was like,
Light bulb moment.
yeah.
Yeah. And that's a good thing. You know, although we mentor people ourselves, although we coach people ourselves, we still work with mentors and coaches ourselves because we always want to improve.
Yep.
And I think that's a good strength of ours. And I think anyone listening to this, if you are struggling with that work-life balance and you're finding it hard to piece together, find someone. Not just trying to sell our services here. Obviously, that's what we help people with. And there's lots of people out there like us. You know, find someone you like and you know and you can trust who have been there, seen it, and done it, and just ask them for help. It doesn't always even have to be paid help. You know, if you've got friends and family who are working from home and have made that transition over and they've been through it, just ask them how they did it. They'll share it with you. They'll let you know, and it can really help you, because trying to figure it out from yourself, it's tough, isn't it?
Well, with coaching, you do figure it out yourself. You just have somebody who is listening to you.
Yeah.
And asking questions. And I had lots of shit that happened in my life, and I was really messed up. And I know it, and that it's not something that I'm ashamed of or anything like that. I just went on this amazing journey where I had people around me, I had my community, and the difference is amazing.
It definitely works if you've got the right coach or the right mentor. You know, I always say, if you're going to find someone to help you, just make sure they've been there, seen it, and done it.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of people out there that claim to know what they're doing, claim to be a good life coach, business coach, health and fitness coach, whatever. They've never done it. They've read a book. You know, so you've got to find the right people and just ask for help. There's a saying, isn't there? When you ask for help, or when you're ready to accept help, the teacher appears. I think that's the saying. And it does happen a lot. It happens all the time. You know, we've found throughout our lives, haven't we, and throughout our little journey together, when we've been struggling and we started to ask for help, people have come and they've helped us. And that's been massive for us, hasn't it?
We accepted the help as well. And I think to me it was accepting the fact that I need help. And it is okay to talk about things, and it is okay to open up and speak to other people.
And then gaining that clarity of what we want to achieve, getting the help to get us there, planning it all out, turning our shit list into our awesome list, ticking things off, and keeping each other accountable.
Yep. I mean, we had our moments. We had some really bad breakups, didn't we?
Yeah, I wouldn't say there's breakups.
Well,
I mean,
there was a time when I phoned my mum in Poland. I was like, Mum, I really want to go home after 15 years of being here. He's an asshole again. No, I didn't say that.
You probably did.
No, well, kind of.
Kind of. But yeah, I mean, yeah, but there was always something drawing us back together again, wasn't there? They were temporary little spats that, and again, we didn't really know how to deal with them, did we? Because you'd come from sort of a relationship where there was a lot of
Issues.
aggression and fighting. I'd come from a relationship which was really kind of like passive, and I wasn't used to conflict. You was very used to conflict, and when we clashed, it just, I don't know, neither of us coped with it very well, because I had a completely different approach. You had a completely different approach, and it just felt like strange for us both, didn't it, really? And it took a while to work that out as well, didn't it? Because you're thrown into this melting pot. You know, before, even though we worked together in that office, we were still separate.
Yeah.
You had your team, I had my little office I would go to, and we'd have that break, and then come together. And now we're working from home, so it's not easy. It's hard to create a good work-life balance, but if you know how to do it, when you do it, it's wonderful, isn't it? Well, I think it is.
Yeah, I mean, you said it's not that easy. I disagree with that. Once you know what you want, it's not that difficult to structure it. It's all down to the routine. It's all down to how you want to live, what you want to do, what are your priorities, and putting things together to make it happen.
Yeah, I disagree a little bit. I don't think it's easy. Maybe for some people it is. Maybe for you it is easy because you adapt a bit quicker than I do. Maybe you take things on and learn. Well, I think actually, not maybe, you do. You do learn a lot quicker than I do. For me, I'm a slow learner. It takes me a lot of repetition and a lot of time to get things to sink in. So for me, nothing's easy. It's just constant. Try, never ever give up. And when it doesn't seem like it's working, try again. So for me, no, it wasn't easy. You know, I'm older than you as well. I had a lot more years of bad habits that was, you know, ingrained in me, and I'd been the boss for so many years and never ever had anyone telling me what to do and when to do it and how to do it. And then you come along. It's like, no. So,
you want to eat nicely? You're going to do it.
Yeah, you're going to do it.
You want to get lucky? You're going to do it.
And you've got that Eastern European, like, you do now.
We go now.
Yeah, we go now. And I'm like, what? Is she talking to me? I'm not used to being spoken to like that. Come,
the
go.
kids take the mickey out of that.
Yeah. So again, it wasn't just that; it was a cultural difference as well, wasn't it? You know, we had the working life balance, the coming from the office, working a new area. We knew no one when we moved here. Cultural differences. We had so much going on. It's no wonder we fought a little bit to start off with. And you know, for you, maybe yes, it was easier because you pick things up very quickly. For me, it's hard. It's hard for me to break all those bad habits I had. But like you said, with repetition, with consistency, with keep showing up, keeping each other accountable, planning, it can be done. It can be turned around.
You know what? It's not just that. I'm really into mindset, and I love the law of attraction and stuff. And I think a lot of people, when there's things happening, they say there's problems. I've got a problem. This is the problem, and that is the problem. I never see them as problems. I see them as challenges.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
And I look into solutions. So this is the challenge. What am I going to do about it? And 9 out of 10 times the solutions are really easy, and you just can tweak a little thing here and there, and that's it.
They are, but a lot of times actually what you need to change isn't that much, is it? Just a little tweak here. But here's the thing: we're all different. We all learn differently. We all have different ideas of how we want to achieve things. We all go at different paces, and it's up to us to find out what works for us best, and it's up for us, it's for us as coaches to sort of work with our clients for them to realize what works for them the best. And you know, we could have couples come to us like us, and what will work for one won't work for the other, or maybe take a little bit longer.
This is why the real coaching is not the coach giving you tips and advice. The coach is only listening and asking questions that are very much.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people don't get confused by coaching and mentoring. You know, we can do both, but they are very different. I mean, I'm probably more of a mentor than coach, and you're definitely the coach, aren't you? But it's a different skill set, isn't it?
Yep.
So luckily we've got those skill sets, and I like to think of it as a hybrid.
Yeah,
A
I
hybrid
like
model.
that.
We're sort of like in between, aren't we?
And
We can flip from both.
Yeah.
So work-life balance is achievable.
It is.
For you, it's easy. For me, it's a challenge, but we get there.
You get solutions.
And to wrap it up, because we've kind of running out of time now.
How long has it been?
I think we've been on for like 45 minutes, so we've been chatting away today. But it's been interesting, and I hope it's useful for people. And just to recap, open and honest conversations. Plan ahead. If you make plans that are a year, 5 years, whatever, that's fine. But break those plans down into smaller chunks, more easier, manageable chunks. Maybe a 90-day plan, then break that down into weekly and daily plans. Listen to each other, talk to each other, be honest. Don't hide things. That was, I guess, if someone had said to me what was the biggest thing you learned out of everything, it'd be not to hide things. Because I always hid things.
Yep.
I always made sure in my mind I was protecting people by not telling them stuff that was going on, and I had that mindset no one could do it better than me. But actually, once I realised most people couldn't do it better than me, you certainly can. And actually, by hiding things doesn't help anybody; it makes things worse. That was probably the biggest thing for me that helped me achieve a better life. Just by being
ended
honest.
up in the hospital, and until you had your book drafted, nobody really knew that.
No. In a previous relationship where I hid everything and made myself sick, I ended up in hospital where I thought I was going to have a heart attack. And I thought I had a heart attack. I was rushed to hospital because I got so stressed and so worried and had so much weight on my shoulders and no one to share it with. It just got too much. And when we got together, I kind of went down that same route.
Yeah.
Because it was what I was used to. So if there was a problem, I would hide it from you. And I would just keep it to myself and deal with it, or try to deal with it. And then, luckily, I didn't make myself sick this time around because you was
bossy.
Bossy. Wait, what's going on?
You're gonna talk to me now.
Yeah, you tell me now.
I'm no stupid.
Yeah. So I kind of had no choice, which again was good for me because I had you there keeping me accountable and keeping me on track, and that really worked well. So yeah, we would encourage everybody to be open and honest and just talk about things. What's the worst thing that can happen? Just bring it out there and discuss it. And you're in it together. You're in it to make a better life. It's in both of your interests to work a workaround, isn't it? And come up with something that's mutually beneficial to you, your partner, and the business.
Yep. I mean, we've got 3 businesses, we've got 4 kids, including 2 babies, we've got the dog, we still manage to go running, we still manage to do workouts together, the businesses are running, and we have got that work-life balance. So if we can do it, anybody can do it.
Yeah. It's not easy.
Yeah, and people who know us, they will know that we're always happy, we're always smiling.
Well, we've got time, haven't we? Here's the thing. I think having a good work-life balance gives you time.
Yeah.
When you've got time, you can be happy. You can smile. When you're head down in a rush, meeting to meeting, you don't know where you're going. You're unplanned. You're just making it up as you go along, as I have in the past. You don't have the time to smile at people. You don't have the time to stop and talk to people. You don't have the time to appreciate anything, because we plan things. And it's probably one last thing we do as well. We really work on some of the important stuff, don't we? And a lot of the stuff that isn't really massively important, we outsource it to other people now, don't we? We give it away, or we just don't even do it. And it hasn't made much of a difference, is it? Before you think, oh my God, I've got to do all this. I must do it all. I can't stop until I've done it all. And then we look at stuff and think, actually, do we really need to do that?
No,
we don't. Just leave it. No one ever moans or asks us. There's so many emails that I do that we just looking through the window. That was a bit off-putting, wasn't it?
My shed is being put together, I think.
Yeah, yeah. You got a shed being put together, and
my International Women's Day present.
yeah, I had nice to spoil you, didn't I?
This is how the man knows how to appreciate his woman.
But then I've lost my train of thought there. We just so emails and things like that. There are other people's to-do lists, aren't they? And we just concentrate on what we want to concentrate on, plan it out and execute it, and then the time we save, we enjoy.
It's also the peace of mind because we get to do things that are important, the priorities, and then when we do have that little bit of time together, we don't have to worry about all the stuff.
Yeah, you can go to bed with a clear conscience as well, can't you? Well, not clear
I
conscience.
can't remember you being awake at night because of work.
I used to lay awake all night thinking, God, I haven't done this, I haven't done that, I need to do this, I need to do this, and that's going to be a problem, and try and preempt everything. Actually, there's another show just on its own, just that, isn't it?
Yeah.
The problems I had with switching off and how I changed that around. We haven't got time to talk about it today, but maybe we'll talk about that next week, because that was awesome when I managed to flip that. But I think there's credence in when you've got an amount of work to do which is achievable and you get that work done, you can go to bed thinking or knowing you couldn't have done any more.
And that's
you've
what
done
we
everything.
do.
And you can sleep at night.
Yeah.
And that's lovely because you wake up the next day refreshed, ready to go. Well, maybe not so much in the moment with 2 babies, but that's out of our control, isn't it? But generally speaking, you can wake up in the morning refreshed and ready to go and enjoy the next day.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that's it.
51 minutes.
I know, yeah. It's your fault, you just don't shut up. Since I encourage you to talk about things.
Since you bought me this beautiful garden shed, I'm going to be nice to you today.
Oh no, you want to go out there and...
I just want to go and check it out.
Yeah, check it out. Right. Hope that was useful. I enjoyed that. Did you enjoy that?
You know what, I don't know where the time goes. And
I know.
it's like when you asked me to sit down with you and talk to you and be there like you look at yourself, I was petrified. But once we do it, it's just so easy to talk to you.
You kind of get used to it, don't you? And actually, maybe that's another thing people can do as well. If they're used to being in a busy office with lots of people around and they're working from home, do a podcast, just chat to each other.
Yeah.
It's really good, isn't it? You just get to talk for ages.
Get the shit out of your system.
Yeah, get the shit out of your system. And no one interrupts you.
No. People listen to you.
Yeah, and you do something hopefully worthwhile and hopefully valuable for others. And I think that's, if you can do things that are valuable for others, that's a lovely way to live your life, isn't it? Anyway, that's it for us. Take care. Bye. Stop this. Oh dear.